Welcome to Gray Man Prepping. This is Tactical Tuesday, where usually we talk about tactics, gear, and more. But seeing as this is the last Tuesday of the month, we're going to go into that fantasy, fair porn, Kool-Aid drinking, Cheetos eating, couch potato zone. Tonight's topic is, after the oil is gone, what are your plans now? So how's everybody doing out there? Let's go over and check the comments. All right, first one in was Alicia, and she came in almost 2.5 hours ago. And then CB at Hugo Homestead, and then Pastor McQuaddy came in. And let's see, Walt Rogers, he's out riding on horseback, taking care of his cattle, so he's just listening. CR is in the house. And I'll remind you again, CR, I emailed you the link. And let's see, it's the Marshmallow Man, Lewis. Hey, how's it going? Kaylin Strain is here. And see who else is popping in here. Shady Hill Homestead. Hey, how's it going? And Gear Grinding 19. Good to see you. Hey, Tibor. And we got Glenn at How to Garden. And Keith Cronk is in the house. Sure, I don't miss anybody as I'm going now. Okay, I think I'm caught up. So if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. So we're going to start off tonight in that fear porn Cheeto eating zone where they drink a lot of Kool-Aid and everything's a fantasy of SHTF. And so, but before I jump into that, I got to pull something up here. Okay, so let me go to this tab here. This came in just a little while before I started the live here. Actually, it came in about half hour ago. So as I was getting things set up. In the Philippines, a 7.1 earthquake. This is up in the northern Philippines. There's Manila down here. This is the northern island. And so you see the color codes there. Well, let's see what those color codes are all about. And so you got the dark orange to here going into the dark orange, starting to go into the red. That's the dark orange there. And if I go in here, there's some dark orange right up there. Let's take that in there. So yeah, so some of the areas are shaking pretty daggone good up there. The yellows and stuff. So they got shook up pretty good up there. And if you look at down here at the mileage here, so you're looking here from that in the bottom left-hand corner there, mileage, and you see from the epicenter down to Manila is probably 150 miles. 150 miles, and they were rock and rolling down there, and even beyond. So let me zoom out a little bit, just so you get a perspective of the Philippines. So, Davao City, anybody that knows Bob, he's been down, his family down there in the southern island down there. So, but yeah, I mean, this area up here is all just rock and roll and shaking. All righty. So I can hide that now, and I can bring this back up. All right. Yeah, Bob goes to the Philippines, but he goes down by Davao City in the southern island down there. And it looks like I'm lagging a little bit from what I see in my talking. So I'm not sure if everything's out of sync or not. But all righty. So let's get into the fear porn of these channels that are saying the oil's going to be gone soon, and we're going to be up a creek without a paddle. You all are going to be, I'm not going to say the word they used, But if you but some of these channels go, but if you send me $19.95 a month, it froze. I'll send you my newsletter, which will teach you everything you need to know to survive. Yeah. Alrighty, so let's take a look at some of the stuff here, and because I'm going to present. That's right, Keith. Well, so we're going to look at what some of them are saying, and we're going to show some things and stuff. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the science, a little bit, and then we're going to talk about, just in case this fear porn fantasy comes true, what we can do about it. All right, so pop over here, boom, and so the next one here is. All right. Oh yeah, we got to get the warning out. Again, warning. You're getting this all over the place. This is the warning. All right. Say what? Yes, it is going to be fear porn. All right. So, from California, the state of California is proud that it reduced the number of oil pumping wells by 23%. That's going to cause us to, have oil shortages, and things are just going to go nuts. And if you ever driving around any place where there are oil fields, it's you look at the wells, see all the wells that aren't pumping. Does that mean they're out of oil? No, but some guys are telling you they're running out of oil. Abandoned oil pumps and stuff. Are they running out of oil and that's why they're abandoned? No, there's other problems in that. So there are a lot of abandoned wells around, which are causing problems of their own environmentally. And you got abandoned tanks and pump stations and oil derricks that have collapsed. And people are saying, see, we're running out of oil. They can't pump anymore, so they stopped taking care of it. Everything went. And so, yeah, that's the way it was going there. So that... they've been saying we're running out of oil, we're using too much oil, and it's all going to be gone. First of all, there was a video up, and it got yanked, and before I had a chance to download it, because it was put out by some professor types, and they were telling the truth, so they got yanked. And then there were some other a friend of mine, Scott at Hidden Valley Homestead, was putting out some articles on Fakebook, and they were slapping him with, our fake checker said that what you're saying is not true. And he was listing the person, the article, the time, where you can go read it at, and they're saying, oh, that's not true. And it's like, he's like, yeah, right. Okay, here's science. You guys are going to say it's not true. Mm-hmm. Anyways, one interesting thing is that the one that Scott put out was talking about fossil fuel is a myth. Oil does not come from fossils, and they went on to explain that back in the 70s or whenever it was, that one of the major oil company guys got someone else to, I forget which agency, to say, yes, it's fossil fuel. So they could say, oh, we got a limited supply of it because all the dinosaurs died giving their lives to make the oil. Hey, Prepping to Endure, how's it going? Well, the also in the article and the video that was yanked down, they were talking about the way that oil is really produced. And that is, there's oil currently being produced all over the world, and there is oil in the oceans that is bubbling up, freshly produced oil, freshly, relative term, but it's, the pocket wherever it's being produced is getting full and it's squeezing the oil out. And so there is a lot more oil around, and oil is always being produced on Earth. All right. So, but if the fear porn guys are correct, and oh no, we're running out of oil in 2 years or whatever the heck it is that they're saying. Something else to look at here. So what are your options if we run out of it? Well, the number one option that I came across and I've talked about before are gasifiers. Gasifiers can take either coal or wood or any type of carbon material, and they can produce a gas that you can use to power a various number of things. And you can get plans all over the place. And actually, if you go, believe it or not, FEMA has in their archives stuff, all the plans and stuff to make gasifiers. And these plans are functional plans that were used back at the turn of the century, last turn of the century, 1900s. But here's some modern ones. I mean, here's another guy built himself a gasifier. Look at that flame coming out of it. And so, yeah, he's producing, gas. Hey, Kathy, producing gas from wood chips. And there's some fancy ones that you can buy, commercially made. And this one here is set up to power a generator. Ooh, electrical power off of wood chips. And let's see what else we got here. If I can get the thing to light up here. Here's another homemade version, a little bit cleaner than that first one. And some other homemade ones out there. People built them, put them together, and these things work. Oh, wait a minute. Gasifiers were used back in the Industrial Revolution. In the 1800s. Amazing. Why is Shell and other companies doing fracking and stuff? Because a lot of the oil fields that they are out in the deep ocean, or they're in other countries that are not not countries that are not allow them to go in there anymore to get their oil pumped, harvest their oil from them. Saudi Arabia started fracking. I hadn't heard that, but there's still a lot of them producing a lot of oil, but it's just in different areas. Oh, CB, your riding mower. Hang on to that thought. We will get back to your riding mower. All right. So during the Depression, there was a lot of farmers building gasifiers on their farm equipment. During World War II, a lot of vehicles were using gasifiers. In the 70s, people started building gasifiers again. 2008, people started building gasifiers again. I mean, here's some stuff from back in the, I think this was actually in the late 30s, early 40s. Big old gasifier on the tractor, pulling the plow. Military vehicles were running on, gasifiers. Hey, Gardner Josh, how's it going? And here's one of the ones. This is I couldn't find a clear picture. I've seen another one that was from around the World War II, where they're on the front of the Ford tractors. They were building gasifiers and running the tractors on gasifiers. And then here's one that from where they were using coal to do it. Another one with a setup on it. And then, hey, fancy delivery trucks in the cities. Yeah, set up for using gasifiers. Here you go, CB. Take that riding track, your lawnmower tractor, and build your gasifier to run it. All right, T-Board, take care. And I froze. All righty. So, yeah, is that the last one? That's the last one of the slides. All right. So, the reason I did went with the gasifier first here as alternatives, because Americans are in love with their cars. Problem now comes up with gasifiers on these cars that have computer chips in them. You know, with fuel injectors. To use a gasifier, you got to have an old-fashioned carburetor, which means, hey, all them vehicles from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, well, a lot from the 70s, not all of them, but, you know, the 60s and 50s, and even the 40s, guess what? Those are, you know, great to run on gasifiers. I forgot to look that one up. Actually, the gasifier for a bus really wasn't much bigger than that one on that one tractor. They just mounted on the back end. Problem is, with having gasifiers on vehicles, you get other idiots that don't know when to stop, and they plow into the gasifier. And that can cause problems. All right, let me go ahead and stop that banner because we're getting out of the fear porn segment of it. There are several YouTube videos out there how to build gasifiers. There are some showing how, once you have a gasifier and it's working right, how to hook it up to different type engines and stuff, how to run a generator off of it. And if you want to get the good videos though, that talk a lot about the cooling, condensers, and the filtration system for it as well. Because if you don't have the condensing cooling system and filtration stuff on it, you can get other particles that shouldn't be coming in with it into the engine, which can foul the engine and spark plugs and stuff. Everybody hydrate. Yes. So, all right. So you can't build a gasifier. What are your other options for getting around? And right now, Kaylin, don't exclude yourself. Back in the day, even in the cities, there were stables and such where people had horses kept. And even the ones that lived in apartment buildings, you know, had horses and stuff. And those that had, you know, remember the horse-drawn milk wagons? You know, they see the pictures and stuff on it. And even in some of the movies, there were still, you know, there was the Danny Kaye, the milkman, had a horse-drawn milk wagon. So it's really not that far back in history where they were using horses. In fact, here's a law for you. Pay attention. In downtown Los Angeles, still on the books, there is a law saying it's illegal to drive motorized vehicles in downtown Los Angeles because it scares the horses. So, yeah, you can see how certain laws just kind of got forgotten about. And they said, all right, you know, all right, everybody's going to automobiles. All right, horses are going by the wayside. But, yeah, if something was to happen, excuse me, I've been up early this morning working. if something like this was to actually happen, and we had no oil, and you have to go to horses and stuff, there are going to be several companies that are going to make a killing on it. Budweiser is one of them, because Budweiser has a whole set of farms for raising Clydesdale horses, and then there's some other companies that raise the Persians or not Persians, Pincherons. I can't remember the name of it. The other big horse like a Clydesdale that is a draft horse. So draft horses are going to be the next high dollar mode of transportation. There we go. Kaylin got it right for me. Thank you. And then there's a couple other brands too as well. Then, of course, you can have other breeds of horses coming back into use. The Morgans, which is a smaller horse, long endurance. They are popular in cities. Yes, Central Park, New York City, has horse stables currently where people can go and rent horses and ride horses around. And in fact, New York is still one of the large metropolitan cities that have mounted horses. Los Angeles has them. Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department has horse units and stuff. And a lot of the state and national parks have horse units as well. So horses could be coming back. And personally, I would love to have horses again. I grew up around horses. So horses is another, fallback mode. The other more commonly one you're going to see a lot of to begin with. Thank you, Kaylin. One of the other ones you're going to see a lot, a big surge in, and you see it in foreign countries, is bicycles. There's going to be a flood of bicycles. People having to ride to work. You're going to see a mass stealing of bicycles. But bicycles is going to be a mode of transportation that, if we run out of oil, that's going to come back. Yeah, Sierra's throwing up the bicycle. So, folks, let's share some ideas here. If suddenly there is no oil, which means no gasoline, how are you going to get around and do things? Modes of transportation. What are you going to do? And then don't forget, if there's no oil, that means there's no ships crossing the ocean carrying food and other goods from China or South America or England or wherever else. Yeah, I was just watching Ben Davidson, Suspicious Observers. He put out a second video today, specifically about stuff. Yeah, and that's going to be a problem too. Is stuff's going to get stolen a lot. Yeah, before oil, it was horses, it was bicycles, it was walking. Of course, then everybody lived close to work. You found a job close to home, and you weren't, commuting. Well, I got to commute an hour and a half into the city to do my job. Yeah, Kaylin, that was a good video that Ben put up this afternoon. Now, with the bicycles, when my daughter was going to Brigham Young University, Idaho, she had a bike stolen. It was outside her apartment because she couldn't bring. They were not allowed to bring bicycles inside their apartment. There was specifically one of the rules they had bike racks up there and stuff. And she had a little flimsy Dollar Tree padlock. Uh-oh. Hey, hang on. What's this? Passamaquoddy? Dollar Tree recalled all over-the-counter meds. Ooh. If hey, Homestead Aquarius, how's it going? Hang on a second, Passamaquoddy. Let me take care of something here real quick here for you. Make you a mod. You don't have a wrench. Okay, now you have a wrench. If you have a link to some sort of article on that, Passamaquoddy, please put it in the chat. Oh, and that's nationwide. Okay. And I froze again. Yeah, Kaylin has a good question there. Was that their own brand, Dollar Tree's own brand, or just some of the stuff they got that they were selling? I'm just wondering if they were selling stuff that had been, that was, quote, expired. There we go. Product recalls. There's the link, folks. Let me go over here. I'm going to open that in a new tab so I can watch it afterwards. See how that's going. Dollar Tree. Okay. Okay. Is it Family Dollar as well? All brands. Oh, all brands at it. Okay. So they may have had some brand stuff that, that was past expiration. That was past its, quote, expiration date, and they accidentally sold it and stuff. So, hey, Arkansas Living, how's it going? Yeah, I love that. Yeah, we'd all start losing weight. Well, we would all be walking around, moving more, but also we wouldn't be able to get all this fancy fattening food. So, yeah. All righty. So, any other ideas on modes of transportation that we'd have to use if the oil stopped flowing? Now, one of the things, with the premises with this is that, we're out of oil, which means we're automatically out of natural gas and propane and methane. That's a myth, because there are natural gas fields that have nothing to do with the oil fields. Hey, Julie, skateboarding. I haven't done that in 40 years. Yeah, I'd have to have one of those skateboards that have training wheels and a handle on it. Yes. Oh, yeah, exactly. CR, the sail, wind-driven ships or boats would, that's how stuff would start going back and forth across the oceans again. All of our historical vessels, the USS Constitution, old Ironsides and stuff, guess what? They're all coming out of mothballs and no longer being a museum. They're going to be fixed up and be going, out to sea. And it'll probably, we would probably, be working double time to try to build more wooden ships. And of course, then trying to figure out a way to put a Gatling gun on a wooden ship. That's a whole nother thing to consider. Yeah, see our scooters, yeah. And that's the other thing too, Kaylin, there you had a good idea. Not just the scooters that you push, but you also have the ones with some of the scooters that have batteries that you can solar charge. So you can, you pedal and it's power assist. So when you go up a hill, it helps you go with it. Hey, Projects with Paul. And let's see here. Where did the heat go? Passamaquoddy, it's still here. Right now I'm looking outside and it is in the shade out here at 8:30 Mountain Time. It's saying it is 83 degrees. Oh yeah, Robert, you are so right. Yeah. And here's the thing too. Here's the thing. There's going to be a lot of ingenious people out there who are going to get old style stuff or be able to use old style MacGyverism, take vegetable oil. Oh, they didn't want me to let the secret out. They froze me. To make vegetable oils to use in place of motor oils. Granted, you're going to have to change the oil then a lot more often. Okay. Oh, 67 degrees in New Hampshire. Wow. 78 in Des Moines. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Kathy. Walking healthy is going to become the thing. Yeah. So if we lose all the fossil fuel oil, there are going to be other ways for us to get by and replace other things. Before we had fossil fuel oil, what did they use to lubricate steam engines? That's one I forgot to look up. So think about it. What oils were they using to lubricate steam engines before they had the big petroleum oils to work with? Was it whale oil? Was it excuse me? Was it lard? Was it tallow? What sort of greasy lubricant? Was it chicken fat they were using to lubricate them steam engines? Yeah, probably a lot of animal fats. And some of the animal fats have a lot of uses too. But let me go over here. I'm going to take that down and I'm going to check something. I'm going to Google this for us. What type of oil was used before I just had a brain fart how to spell petroleum. P-E-T. There we go. For petroleum. Oh, inactivity. Bitumen was used in the and was the Roman name for asphalt used as a cement and mortar. So B-I-T-U-M-N. That's that. That's not a. Ancient Persians, 10th century Sumerians, pre-Columbian Indians believed that crude oil. I could still talk about crude oil. And it's still talking about ancient use. Okay, let's check this one here. Okay, not finding any information unless someone else can find it a little bit better. Well, crude oil is the oil we're talking about. It's coming out of the ground, petroleum oil. And if it stops, we're out of oil. Uh, okay, let me try doing something else. Uh, I misspelled that. Lubricating oil. And brief history of oils, olive oils, going back. So I guess you have to look. There's a thing called a brief history of lubrication. Sap. I guess sap became that seep from wood was used as lubrication on to reduce friction on a lot of things. Yes, CR, that it does. Olive oil has effect on every system, and so Passamaquoddy, there are several companies that build horse wagons today, but generally, not a lot of people know where they are or where they're at. I mean, there's a company that builds chuck wagons. And they turn out, a couple dozen chuck wagons a year. And then there's those ones that make those fancy carriages, like in New York or down in um, um, Charlotte or wherever, they have the horse carriages around and stuff. All right, so we got whale oil, fish oil, yeah, coconut, gravesend, olive, sunflower oil. Oh, grape. Oh, this is supposed to be grape seed. Okay, that's what I thought. I'm not sure if 3-in-1 oil is a fish oil or not, but yeah. So there's a lot of things to think about being preppers and stuff, just in case. And besides that, horses are fun anyways. And some of these bicycle contraptions and stuff, especially the ones that are electrical, that you can charge off of solar panels, which means, hey, you need to get extra solar panels now before the happens. But yeah, and I know back in the 70s and late 60s, when we lived down in Los Angeles, all around Los Angeles, even even in the developed areas, there were still a lot of horse ranches down there where people would board their horses, and they would, when they wanted to go riding their horses, they would go down there and get their horses and ride the horses. A lot of these became close to the national parks and the state parks and city parks where people could ride around. So just being in an apartment, doesn't exclude you from having a horse, but it excludes you as being too far away from that horse where you can board it, not to be able to do anything with it. That's right, CR. You got to get them dog sleds up and going. So there are a lot of options if the fear porn people are right and the oil goes poof and Mother Nature stops producing oil all of a sudden for some unknown reason. But then there are also a lot of other oil substitutes out there. Granted, they don't last as long, and you're gonna have to do oil changes, a lot, quicker. Like on a car, you drive the car 50 hours, you got to change the motor oil in it. Even if you're using the gasifier to drive the car, your motor oil is going to need to be changed. And I guarantee you, those people that have, the regular motor oil, when they reclaim it and recycle it. Recyclers are going to become the hot topic to be able to reclaim and recycle and purify used motor oils, transmission fluids, hydraulic fluids, all these things. Where to begin has been listening while washing vegetables. Cool. So there's a lot of things to think about if, for some reason, we suddenly lose new oil. Anyways, just for prepper's sake, how many of you have enough oil? If you have cars, I know Kaylin does not have a car. If you have enough oil to change the oil in your car, 2 or 3 times out in advance, do you have that already stored for saving that up there? Sorry, catching up. Okay, Gear has some information. So W40, I think the official 3-in-1 is made of white lithium grease, silicone spray, and oil with PT. Okay. Just catching up on the side chat, making sure I don't miss any great ideas out there. So, things as people, homesteaders and preppers, I've got several gallons of 30-weight oil out in the shop. And I got several other gallons for my, specifically for my N9 tractor for when I change the oil in it, because it takes 3 gallons of oil to change the oil in that tractor. That's just the motor oil. That's not counting the transmission oil or the differential oil, which adds up to about another 12 gallons total. So, I got enough to do one full change on it. But fortunately, I don't drive the N9 very often enough where I have to change the oil but once every couple of years. Oh, yeah. You're going to need oils for your generators, people. Which, hey, actually, all right, think about this. Here's some budgeting for you. Getting a case of oil in quarts, getting 55 gallons worth of oil in quarts is insanely expensive. You can go to the fuel depots and stuff like that, and you can get for like a quarter of that price or less, you can get a 55-gallon drum of oil or kerosene or transmission fluid. You can buy it in bulk. We used to buy the grease in 55-gallon barrels to put on our lube trucks, and we would have 3 barrels of grease per truck in storage, and the trucks when they were running low would let the shop know that they were getting low and they're going to need a new barrel, and the shop manager would order a barrel and rotate the stock every time. So he always had 3 barrels in stock. The owner got pissed one time about that. Why are we going? Until the time came where they could not, where the suppliers were saying, "Oh, we're out of grease for a while," and then the owner goes, "Oh, that's why you do that." Yeah, and he says, "Yeah, it happens every couple of years. We can't get grease in 55-gallon barrels." Hey, Garden State Gardener, how you doing, Joe? All righty. I think I beat this thing to death here. Anybody got any other ideas of our problems from running out of oil, and what are we going to need for solutions of it? But one of the things I can say is that people save, if that happens, you're going to see everybody saving all the chicken grease, all the tallow, all the lard, everything, every type of grease, oil, lubricant they have. You'll see people planting olive trees that hated olive trees before. And anybody has never been around an olive trees can be very messy. Especially you get certain birds in there think they want to eat them. And then you get the, we're not going to go there. That's something for the poop troop, but yeah. Kathy, yeah. And that's the thing too. How many people know how to render tallow or lard? That's a skill. And if you're going to start out in a crisis situation, trying to learn how to render tallow and lard and stuff to get your lubricating oils for cooking and stuff like that, whole nother problem. Yeah. Yeah, there's and don't forget, guys and gals, sorry, almost did a poofa there. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget your pew-pews and the cleaning and lubricating needed for said pew-pews. Cool. All right, everybody, Where to Begin Homestead. Check to see if have you guys done a video on that yet? If not, need to do one. Teach us how to do it. Everyone, check them out if they do have a video on how to do that. Check it out. Yeah, any type of videos on that type of stuff, we need to, we should be watching, because like right now, I don't have any animals on the property yet. It's in the plan. But that's one of the things to, yes, they do have a video on it. Woohoo! All right, somebody that has a wrench, please look it up and see if you can find the link to that. Hey, Idaho Garden Girl, how's it going? To Where to Begin Homestead's video on. Did I do give Where to Begin Homestead? Did they have? Dang, they've been around so long. What's going on here? Why? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Where to Begin? You have a link. You can post your own video link. Yeah. Go ahead. You are a moderator. Go ahead and post the link to that video, and then everybody can watch it when this one video is over. There we go. There's a link there, and I'm going to pull that one off to the side. There we go. Thanks, Gerda. Yeah. All right. It's got 82 views, but only 7 thumbs up. Everybody, go watch their video after we're done here, and hit their thumbs up. If they have 87 views, they should have at least 20 thumbs up. All righty. So we're coming up on being live here for an hour. Let me go over here. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing the midnight run. Homestead. Oh, sorry, Robert. Okay. Thank you for calling me out on it. I do trust you. There we go. Got that. Okay. Okay, I just made a couple more that have been here for quite a while, moderators. So there we go. All righty. So coming up here so on Thursday, I'm not sure whether or not I'll be. I'm going to try to do a live on Thursday for the midnight ride, because Thursday we've got the contractors coming here to pour concrete, and if it's all done and I'm able to, and it's all set up and done everything right by that time, I may take the Kindle out there and do the live from the Kindle and the laptop out on the new patio. So everyone, cross your fingers that everything goes good with the concrete pour on Thursday. All right. Other than that, those of you that have any lives coming up, and go ahead and put the day and time of your next live. Go ahead and put it in the chat so everybody knows. I know that tomorrow night, Laura at Hedgehog's Homestead has a live stream already scheduled. You can find it on the regular search for live streams and stuff there. Coming up on Friday at 12 o'clock Eastern, Courtney, Wide Family Farm is going live. CR, when is the next time you're doing a live? All right, so coming around the next week, next Monday, on the Camp Patton Family Compound channel, at 8 o'clock Eastern, the Monday night Fireside chat. It's garden, but it's still summer. That's what we'll be talking about, is what areas needs to start planting their stuff now, and when do you need to start planting things. So I'm going to need a lot of help from everybody in the chat there for your area to let everyone know when you start planting your fall garden in your area. And let's see here. Next Tuesday, pointed out to me by Sean, North Shore Preparedness. So anybody wants to tell him, I'm taking his little thing there and running with it, and it's food source recon is what the topic's going to be next Tuesday, and that's what we'll be talking about. Idaho Garden Girl is sowing turnips and rutabagas ASAP. Gear, were you planting turnips or something as well? Thought I saw a video somewhere. There we go. Yes, like Joe says, don't forget to hit the like button, please. All righty, folks. So those are the upcoming events here, and this community needs to support each other. So if anybody's doing a live, try to get over there and watch their live, even if you have to watch it on the replay, because sometimes it happens. Two of us go live at the same time, and so you got to watch one live and someone else's replay. So that's what's coming on, folks. So I think we're done with the fear porn of we're running out of oil. Because I don't see us running out of oil in my son's lifetime. All righty, folks. With that, everyone, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your prepper pantry, foods, water, medicines, anything else you might need. And like I said earlier, learn a new skill. If you don't know how to render tallow or lard, do it. And check out Where to Begin Homesteads. They have a video on that, and we had it in the link there. So check them out. All right, folks, see you around.